Today we're dealing with lesson 7.2. We're going to be solving exponential equations and inequalities, and we'll also be writing exponential equations. Alright, an exponential equation is any equation where the variable occurs as an exponent. Now when that happens, if you can get the bases to be the same, such as this example right here, then all you have to deal with is the exponents. If 3 to the x equals 3 to the 5th, then x would have to be equal to 5 since these two quantities are equal. So that's our goal, is to get our bases the same. On our first example right here, you'll notice that we have 2 to the x equals 8 to the third. Now 8 to the third, well 8 is 2 to the third power. So really 8 to the third is the same as 2 to the third to the third. Alright? Now remember, when you're taking a power to a power, you need to multiply your exponents together. And that's going to give me 2 to the 9th power and 2 to the x power. And then we know that in this case, since you have 2 to the x power equals 2 to the 9th power, x has to equal 9. And that one's taken care of and all finished up. Alright, let's jump over here to this next one here. Okay, 9 can be considered as 3 squared. So we have 3 squared to the 2x minus 1 power equals 3 to the 6x power. Just like we did in these previous examples, I'm going to go ahead and multiply the 2x minus 1 times the 2 because I'm taking a power to a power. So this now becomes 3. 2 times 2x is 4x. 2 times negative 1 is minus 2. So what we have now is 3 to the 4x minus 2 equals 3 to the 6x. This implies then that 4x minus 2 has to equal 6x. Let's solve this equation. Subtracting 4x from both sides leaves me with negative 2, and 6x minus 4x is 2x. Divide both sides by 2, negative 1 is equal to x. And there's the solution for that one. That's my first objective. My second objective for today is solving an exponential inequality. You're going to work them just like you did equations, all right? The whole point is that if the bases are the same, then the inequality holds true for the exponents also. Now, tricky part on this one is this number right there, 1 over 625. Well, 625 is actually going to be 25 squared, which is actually 5 to the 4th power. Alright, so really what we have here is, and 1 over 5 to the 4th power, remember negative exponents can be written like that. Okay, so let's translate this over. We have 5 to the 3 minus 2x is greater than 5 to the negative 4th power. Since the bases are the same, all I need to work with are the exponents. 3 minus 2x then has to be greater than negative 4. When we subtract 3 from both sides, that will leave me negative 2x is greater than negative 4 minus 3 is negative 7. I'll divide by negative 2. Don't forget, we're dividing an inequality by a negative number. That causes us to flip the sign. Negative 7 divided by negative 2 is positive 7 over 2. And that's how you work those problems. Now my last objective here is writing an exponential equation. All exponential equations follow this form. Y equals some number times another number to the x power. Alright? Now I want you to notice here, on this problem right here, and on your worksheet, all of them will begin with 0 something. This is your x number and this is a y number. Let's plug those into this and see what happens. Alright, y. Well, our y number is 3 equals a b to the x, and our x is 0. You'll recall that anything to the 0 power is 1, so 3 equals a times 1, or 3 equals a. This set of numbers, as long as the first number is 0, will tell you what a is. Now, keeping that in mind, now that I know what a is, I can work and try to figure out what b is. So a is 3. Now looking at the other set of numbers over here, I've got an x number, I've got a y number, now I've got an a number. The only thing I don't have is b. If I plug these into this equation, I'll be able to solve for b. So y, which is 81, equals a, which is 3, excuse me, times b, which I don't know what that is. I'm trying to figure that out, to the 4th power. All right. So what we got here basically is 81 equals 3b to the 4th power. You recall from a previous lesson in chapter 6, we did these before. All right, divide both sides by 3. 81 divided by 3 is 27. So 27 equals b to the 4th power. Now I need to figure out what b is, so since this is to the 4th power, I need to undo that. I will find the 4th root of both sides. So the 4th root, 27, equals the 4th root of b to the 4th. Now the 4th root of 27, let's take a look at that. I'll get a new screen going here. Okay. Let's change this to what's showing the calculator. There we go. All right. 4th root of 27. That's going to be right here. All right, put 4 there. Top. 4th root of 27. These calculators are set up to round to the nearest of 5 decimal places, so it's 2.27951. 2.27951. All right, so let's go ahead and write that down. 2, again, 2.27951, and that's equal to b. Now that I've got a and I've got b, I'll just plug those back into this equation, and I'll have the equation written out. Y equals a, which is 3, times b, which is 2.27951 to x power. And that's the end of the lesson for today. Check back in tomorrow for lesson 7.3, part 1.